Hi, my name's Chris Dames. I run a financial planning practice. We're based in Moorgate. We're intrinsic members at the moment. We're not going to be soon. We're going directly authorised. However, what we are quite prominent in is in the auto-enrolment space. And I just wanted to talk to you about our experiences and what we've done. And actually what we're doing in the future, because the experience in the market is changing fundamentally, we believe, and I'll explain why. For some reason that's not working. We'll try again. Keep it on there. But before I do that, I want to explain why I've put this photo up, because at heart, I've got a lot less hair than that now. This is me at 12, 13. I've got a lot less hair than that now. I haven't got a jumper with a dog on, and my He-Man wallpaper is now gone, actually. I've replaced it with 18 wallpaper. That's a joke, obviously. But what you can see there is my Commodore 64. It's my pride and joy as a kid. Loved it. It loaded stuff with a tape, so I used to have to put a tape on and then wander off for half an hour and then come back and it was all loaded up. But at heart, I'm a real geek, and that's informed our opinion of how we deal with this massive auto-enrolment clients, and I'll explain why. So let me explain how we got involved. We started talking about auto-enrolment sort of 3 to 4 years ago. We were in a position where at the time that was mostly to empty rooms of accountants. Accountants at the time really weren't interested in auto-enrolment, it was too soon. However, what we found is that medium-sized employers were in a position where they were standing up and taking notice. And we started working with a large fashion retailer first. And they employed over 1,000 people. They employed 1,500 people, and the FD of that business knew the FD of a lot of other fashion retailers. So what we got is a real niche in terms of helping large retail employers comply with auto-enrolment, and we looked after 4 or 5 of those sort of employers. So that was really good. What we did there is just develop our proposition so that we were in a position where we were really good at helping medium-sized businesses. And when I say medium-sized, I'm talking about anything from 100 to thousands, 1,500, things like that. We weren't really playing in the sort of massive Tesco style space, but we were in a position where we could help firms really well at large numbers. I remember coming out of the meeting, the first meeting where we won it, and we was competing against some employee benefit consultants, and it was the most excited and scared I've ever been, because it was the biggest job we'd ever done. But we focused on it, we did it well, and because of that the FD referred us on, and it worked really well. However, what we're finding now is that the auto-enrolment game is changing a bit. And the reason being is because all of these big firms that we've worked with before have got HR functions, they've got payroll functions, they've got teams of people to help, and they've got the budgets to pay. So they're in a position where we go into large retailers and we quote a fee, and that fee's acceptable. However, what we're dealing with now and the market we're moving into isn't that market. We're looking at SME firms, your man who runs a chip shop, who ain't going to pay me 10 grand to come in and do the work. So how do we deal with that challenge? I think the other thing we found as well is the fact that in big organisations, the challenges are complex, and SME employers don't want auto-enrolment to be complicated. They want a simple solution, they want to make life easy for themselves, and they want to be in a situation where they don't want anything too complicated, they want to make it really simple. And as I've said, the fees we charge for the larger employers, because of the time we took, was a lot bigger, and we found that in the SME space we couldn't charge that. So the challenge we had was, do we play? You know, we've had this experience in the medium-sized market and some of the larger businesses. Do we actually get involved in the SME market? And that was a real big challenge, because my initial thought was not to. So my initial thought was to say, we've got all of these clients on retainers, the service we delivered to them will continue, let's not get involved. And then I thought about the 1 million+ employers we've still got to help comply. And what we needed to do is think of a different solution and think of a way we could solve it. So we did. And this is where my geeky side came back into play, because what we decided to do is make sure that we were in a position where we delivered something simple, we delivered something employers could do themselves and comply with themselves, but delivered with the help of accountants and advisors. So what we did is launch A in a Box. Now you've probably heard Intrinsic talk about A in a Box. This isn't the Intrinsic proposition, it's different. And what A in a Box does, it's an online platform designed to empower employers to do auto-enrolment really simply. We've built this from scratch, it's taken a year to build, and it's designed to be ready for the SME and micro market. Now currently, across the country, we've got 110 IFAs using it today. Most of them are directly authorised, and the feedback we're getting is that they feel that A in a Box really helps them, number one, engage with accountants. So you go into an accountant and say, look, I've got this auto-enrolment problem, this is going to be an absolute pain because the accountant's got 200 clients. They need a systemised automated solution to deal with auto-enrolment, and A in a Box helps with that. So what does A in a Box actually do? So it's software, but it's not middleware. And the reason we didn't want to build a middleware piece of kit is because middleware, if you, just hands up, who knows what middleware is? Okay, a couple of people. Okay, so middleware is software designed to help with auto-enrolment. It sits in the middle of payroll and pension, and effectively does a lot of the ongoing tasks you need to do with auto-enrolment. Okay? A few out there, Steve B's proposition, JFB Micro, AExpress, Optenroll, and things like that. However, the middleware market's shrinking massively at the minute. And the reason being is because Sage and Iris have said, well look, you know, why have we got these people sitting in the middle when we're software providers and we can develop a proposition themselves? And that's exactly what they've done. So effectively, Sage and Iris, and now companies like QTAC and other payroll firms have developed their middleware. So instead of getting data out of payroll and having to put into middleware and then into pension, all they do is press one button and it does all that, and then all they do is send it to the pension. So effectively, middleware is there. There's still a market for it because there's 300 payroll providers in the UK. So even if the big players do it, you're not going to get everybody do it, but it's a shrinking market. But we're not middleware, okay? What we do, and what A in a Box does, is make employers' pension selections easy, makes their software selections easy, and just it's designed to make auto-enrolment as simple as possible for those millions of employers yet to comply. That's the idea of it. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just give you a little demo of the system. Kelly, can I ask you to